Hi everybody, it's Margaret here with 60 and Me. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to a new day of your life. I hope that you're doing well, and I really do appreciate you being here. The topic I want to talk about today is one that I think is something a lot of women in our community think about. And that is, we're all looking in our lives as we get older to be fulfilled and to be doing the things that we love and to be treasuring the moments in our lives that bring the memories, that bring the meaning, and all the other context of our life, our daily life may have changed when we don't have our children around, or when we're not in a relationship perhaps, but we're all looking for those perfect moments. And I think we have these conversations with ourselves about, it'll be a perfect moment if, I can find the right place, the right person, the right activity, the right clothes, the right everything. We keep telling ourselves that only if we had these things, then life would be perfect. The moments would be perfect. And Fran Meininger, one of our bloggers, wrote this article. I love the title. It's "Don't Wait for the Perfect Moment. Make Your Moments Perfect." I really enjoyed this article, and it really spoke to me because I realized, just like many of you, that I go through days sometimes thinking, well, it would be, it'd be really lovely. I would maybe not use the word perfect, but it would be just great. It would be a lovely moment if I had this, or if I was in this place, or if I could afford to do this. You keep on creating the perfect moment. Is like pulling you to it, like it's got this magnetic power. And in doing that obsession almost with the perfect moment, you're forgetting that the perfect moments are all around you, and you can also create these moments of experience which are joyful and beautiful and perfect, and they don't have to be big. And I actually have had this conversation a lot with some friends recently, and even in my family, about the last few years with the pandemic has been a really hard time to feel settled. That it's like, well, when this is over, then I will be able to, the moments will become more perfect. I'll be able to do those perfect things that I want. There is no perfection. We know this. And in fact, if there was one thing that I would, take away from this conversation, is that, the perfect moments don't exist, but the imperfect moments can be beautiful. And it's almost those imperfect moments that give you an authenticity and a joy. I'll never forget, actually, once I was in a business meeting, and I had I think it was pearl necklaces on, and a pearl necklace, and I was fiddling with it, how you do when you're in a meeting, and it broke. And the pearls went like all over the floor, and it was like ping, 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 ping. And I think I was probably the only one of maybe 2 or 3 women in the whole. It's like a big round table, and it was funny. These people were all trying to get down on the floor to help me with my pearls, and we all laughed about it. And it was like, it took a kind of a stressful business meeting, and it made it perfect. It was just like, that's just perfect. That it couldn't have been better and more fun and more authentic. It was, I don't know why I thought of that. I didn't have that even in my notes, but I just thought about it. And it was so true that it was just those moments of imperfection that made the whole thing work perfectly. So the small moments do matter. And I think the thing that Fran talks about in this article, which is so powerful, is that it's the present moments. That's the key to this. It's staying in the present, because when you're looking for the future, you're looking for when things get better, when I get some more money, when I move to this new place, when I can afford to do this, that somehow that when is always precedes the comment, it will be perfect. It's like taking you away from the present moment, which is where all the magic is. It's where all the beauty is. It's where whatever brings us smiles and joy. So discover what makes you happy. That's the first part on this journey. You've got to know what are the things that make you feel good, even if they're not perfect things. Even though, like, say for example, you're starting a new craft, or you're knitting or sewing or painting, and it's not perfect, and it's not perfect. It looks really not like you want it to look, and you keep saying, well, when I can do this and that. Stay in the present moment and stay with the blissful feeling that giving you that moment of connection to the now, to the present, allows you to capitalize on the beauty of that present and experience a perfect moment, or a moment that is perfect, not perfect moment, but moment. The other thing that you have to do, I think, in this whole journey is to set intentions. You have to have in your mind say, okay, before starting your day, what do you want from this day? Right now, I mean, not even in the future of the day, but right in this moment of the day, what is it that you're looking to do? What is your intention? Well, my intention is that I am going to go. I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to experience nature. I'm going to go to the botanic gardens, or I'm going to go somewhere where there's beautiful transition flowers or plants. You know, the seasons are emerging and happening here quickly. Plan a visit to a friend, or I'm going to call a friend, or I'm going to join a Zoom call, or I'm going to, do something. It doesn't have to be with the expectation of it being perfect, but it is with the expectation of it being potentially a perfect moment, a moment that's perfect. Another thing that Fran talks about, which I think is really an important one, is it does also involve a little taking risks. You've got to break out of your routine. You've got to look, you've got to pay attention. You've got to look at stuff. And I find this, especially when I go for walks or go into even to the shops. I went to a place the other day that I'd never been to. It was a small town. I went by my train, and when I got there was a market. I didn't expect a market. I didn't know what I expected. I mean, I was trying to do exactly what I'm talking about here, waiting for a moment. And I took my phone and I was taking some pictures, and I found the most beautiful flower arrangement. It was a vegetation decor around I think it was a church, and it was just stunning. And it makes you have goosebumps when you find those moments are just so simple. A flower, a flower or a face or voices. And that was another thing. I sat and had a coffee and I was listening to the children. I could just close my eyes almost and hear kids playing and running around. And I thought, this is pretty much the most beautiful moment. It's just a moment of not perfection and like everything was in its place, but it was just wonderful. So find those peaceful, calm moments that just bring your heart joy, and that's your imperfect moment. And sometimes they even are imperfect, and but you still appreciate them. Embrace the unexpected. I mean, I don't know how many people have told me they met their partners or met their, a really good friend in the most unusual way. Like I met my ex-husband on a train. And when I mentioned that to someone, this is years ago, of course, they said, oh, I did too. That's so funny. Or on a cruise or my car broke down and I went to this guy by chance. Expect the unexpected to bring you joy. That's the thing. It's never going to be, well, that's not true. It could be planned, but it's often not planned. It's just a moment of serendipity or coincidence or just chance that brings you close to. I've just noticed I got my clothes are falling off. I'm just getting into this conversation. Sharing an accomplishment, sharing an experience with someone that you love. Just let someone else bring that moment of joy to you too. Most important thing I think Fran says, and I think this is such a true one, is engage in the work of your heart. Just do things that you love. And you will find in doing that, in being there with yourself and being fully engaged with your inner passions, your inner joy, you will just stumble over moments that are perfect every single day. And be generous. Be generous with others. Give them a sense of that same joy as well. I love this phrase. I wanted to look at the page because she says, return to the magnificence. When I read that chapter heading, I thought, what she's talking about is just the magnificence of life. Watch the sunrise, watch the sunset. Go out in a rainstorm. Just take those moments of the magnificence of the world that we live in. It doesn't even have to be beautiful in the traditional sense. It can just be music. It can be a sound. It can be a smell. It can be anything that brings you a connection to that mysterious. Who was it? Rudolf Otto, writer, wrote this Mysterium Tremendum, which is for him, I think, was a spiritual awareness and opening. But it's just that magnificence of life, the sheer beauty of a child, of a plant, of just being. So no perfect moments, but there are moments that can be. Every moment can be perfect. The other thing she mentions, which I should add at the end here, is that you've got to also choose your friends. You've got to choose the people who are your people. The people that resonate with you, that believe in you, that encourage you. And in those people, they will bring you these magic moments too. So what do you think about this? Are you a perfectionist and always searching for the perfect moment, the perfect experience? Or have you now realized, as I was talking about, that the perfect moments are not in the perfection, but in the moment itself, and that it doesn't have to be a perfection. It just has to be a moment that is amazingly touching and inspiring. I really love this conversation. I mean, even now I'm sitting here, I'm looking at my desk and I'm thinking, I'm so grateful for the things that I have here and looking at the things that bring me joy, just the simple things. And I hope that you have found a way to do that too. But I'd love to know your concept of perfection and how you find those moments that are absolutely beautiful and perfect, imperfectly perfect. Thank you again for being here, everybody. It's such a joy to share with you these stories and hope that they help inspire you. Please leave your comments below, get to know each other, reach out if someone seems to need a hug. That's what we're here for at 60andMe. So just help each other through this time. Lots and lots of love to all of you. Take really good care. Bye-bye for now.